daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the daily Manchester United podcast. We have a solo one this evening. I'm your host for this episode, Niall Hannigan, and big weekend ahead. We have the Manchester Derby in the Etihad on Sunday afternoon. It's going to be absolutely massive, and it's going to be an interesting one for both sides. Obviously not the best start to the season for both teams, for both Manchester clubs. There's been a lot of, I suppose, promise from United at the start of the season with the new signings and with all the new players coming in and kind of getting rid of a lot of players as well towards the end of the transfer window. But it's been quite underwhelming, to say the least. It was good getting a useful result against Burnley last time we were out, just before the international break. But yeah, we need to get back on track, and what a way it would be to get back on track against Manchester City, the rivals, at the weekend. I was looking through the website, and we've an article by Adam Marshall with all the latest team news ahead of this derby at the weekend. Some interesting ones. We kind of knew that Cunha would be out most likely, along with Mason Mount as well, who both picked up injuries before the international break. We're also going to be missing out on Diogo Dalot, who is unavailable after complaining of a muscle pain and pulled out of the Portugal World Cup qualifiers as well. So we're going to be down a few players going into the game, but I think we have plenty in reserve in terms of being able to get a good team out for the game at the weekend. It's going to be really interesting now to see how he lines up with a lot of these players missing. Particularly Mount and Cunha have been really mainstays in the team for the first few games of the season. I saw as well that the Slovenian team were given an extra day off, to kind of relax. But Sesko came directly back to Manchester, back to Carrington, to kind of get straight back into training for the weekend. So I can imagine with Cunha out, with Mount out, it's going to be a big start for him in the Premier League at the weekend. So really exciting to see that. Another piece of interesting news is obviously with the new signing of Lamont, our new goalkeeper, and being able to get rid of Onana out on loan. Amram has confirmed that Bayon will remain in goal for the derby. Actually saying, I believe in Alte. He is ready to play and he is going to play. So, I mean, from a manager's perspective looking in, I mean, you want your manager to be able to back your players. And I think he's saying all the right things here as well. I just hope that on the inside, he does have a plan to kind of move Bayon back into that kind of number 2 position and to give Lamont a go. I think we've seen enough from the goalkeeper situation that we've had as well. So, there's definitely enough evidence there to warrant a bit of a change. And it will be interesting to see Lamont get some game time. But it's looking like Bayon will be in nets at the Etihad at the weekend. And yeah, let's see how we get on. Martinez is still continuing to recover from his knee operation. Mazraoui made his first appearance of the season in the Burnley game, but did not play for Morocco in the international break. So he's kind of slowly getting back into the swing of things as well, which is great. On the blue half of the city, Marmoush is out for the game. He got injured during international duty. John Stones is a doubt as well. He pulled out of the England squad. Nuri and Cherki are definitely absent, but Pep was saying that a lot of his players like Foden, Rico Lewis, Nico Riley, Savinho, etc., are all available and all ready to go. So it's going to be a pretty strong lineup from themselves as well. Interesting, Donnarumma, a player that we were heavily linked with, I would say, over the past month or so, coming towards the end of the transfer window. He has an opportunity to get his debut. And I mean, what a game to make your debut in as a new signing. I think Lamont could have been that for us, but I can imagine if you're signing Donnarumma, you're not really signing him to sit on the bench, are you? So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens there. But it's looking like he will start at the Etihad at the weekend. So yeah, a lot of interesting team news. Unfortunately, not going to be able to see Cunha playing in the biggest game of the season so far, which is disappointing. He's been really, really exciting for us. Not too much of an end product so far, and Bomo's been fantastic in that area. But yeah, let's see. Hopefully, he's back for the return fixture later on in the season. But we'll take a quick break there and be back with a bit of a predicted lineup and how we think the game is going to go at the weekend.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Your body is unique. And Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bioniq, the world's most personalised supplements. Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right level to optimise your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bioniq. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
So we've gone through the team news in terms of who's definitely out and across both teams. A lot of people picking up injury in the international break. Others we knew were injured beforehand. So in terms of a starting lineup, we mentioned Bayon is going to start in goal. A back three, you can imagine quite strong with Yoro, De Ligt and probably Shaw as well in that back three. And when we move forward, this is where it gets interesting because, Cunha is out, Mount is out, both started those games. Dalot as well is out. And, in a big game like this, for those wing-back positions, would Amorim go a little bit more defensive? And would he have played Dalot if he were fit? Quite possibly. Ahmad hasn't lit the world on fire this year so far. So, a lot of competition for that space. So, very interesting to see. In terms of that right wing back position, I think it probably will be Ahmad. With Dalot out, I don't think we have too many other options really that can fill into that role in terms of someone that will be comfortable and that could play there quite effectively. So I can imagine Ahmad being on one wing back and Dorgu being on the other, who I've been very impressed with at the start of the season. We haven't had a lot of good performances from our players, but Dorgu's definitely a promising one, and he's so young and he is quite raw as well, but he's the bar isn't really high at the moment, so he's performing well. This is where it gets interesting because, like I mentioned, Ahmad on right wing back's quite attacking. With Cunha out, you can imagine that Fernandes is probably going to push a little bit further up the pitch, more into one of those number 10 positions, and that leaves a hole beside Casemiro. I really hope it's not Ugarte. But you never know. I mean, against City, we're probably not going to have a lot of the ball, just based off, historic games, etc. So I don't know if Amorim wants to really sit in and try and protect the defence and maybe counter-attack. I'm not sure. I would like to see Manu in there beside Casemiro. I think just someone that can put their foot on the ball. I think the two of them in midfield would be quite good. And then, in front we have Mbeumo, Fernandes, and then Sesko with his first start in the Premier League. Big game, absolutely massive game for him. I don't think the Grimsby game would have filled him with confidence. There was a couple of chances that he had missed there towards the game as well. He did nail his penalty eventually when he did take it, the 9th or 10th penalty. But look, I really, really hope that he goes well over the next few weeks. And I mean, what a start to his career if he was able to get a goal in such a big game like this at the weekend. So, yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, it's not the worst team in the world looking at it. Cunha in a game like this where you're probably going to be under pressure would be a fantastic outlet to have. I think, the balance of the team will be interesting as well now with Fernandes playing in one of those number 10 positions. Will that left-hand side just be completely reliant on Dorgu to really make up enough ground on the defence and also getting in at the back post? You can imagine Fernandes is going to be roaming everywhere and not kind of sticking to any one position. And Mbeumo and Ahmad on the right wing is definitely going to cause problems for them. They're very dynamic, very fast, great quality as well at times from the both of them. So the right-hand side is definitely going to be an area of strength for us, which over the last recent years, it hasn't been. So that should be exciting. And our defence has been strong. Yoro and De Ligt, I think, are excellent. Shaw is kind of coming back into fitness as well. So I'm quite confident with that back three. Goalkeeper, not confident at all, but we have to back him. Let's hope there's no corners for City, and that if there are, they ping them to the edge of the box for someone to volley it, because don't put it on his head. But yeah, that's how I think the team will line out. I don't think we have too many options, like we said, due to the injuries. So let's just hope Ugarte doesn't start ahead of Menu. And score predictions. Here we go. I mean, last year we had the Ahmad special. I mean, what a goal, flicking it over Ederson and then kind of trickling it into the net past Ake and a few other defenders on the line. I think it might have been Guardiola as well, but it was a brilliant goal. It's kind of a heart over head situation here when you're trying to predict a United game. You really predict them to win or get a result in every game. I'm going to go for a draw with this game, and I'm going to go for once, I'm going to go for a more entertaining one. I'm going to go for 2-2, and I think both teams can be got at. I think we kind of know that City can be got at. United tend to do quite well against them in terms of counter-attacking in a lot of games over the years. City haven't had the best start to the season. We know they can score goals, but we know they can also leak them. United haven't been great at scoring goals, but I think have a little bit more threat in them this year than they did last year. Obviously, Cunha is a big loss, but I think there's still enough firepower there to get a couple of goals in the game. I think it could be 2-2. So that's my prediction going in for the weekend. Let's just pray, and I'm sure we'll get a good quick reaction on the podcast after the game on Sunday afternoon from everyone at the podcast. So really looking forward to it. But that wraps up today. We covered off a bit of the team news, how the squads are shaping up, and a bit of a predicted lineup and a predicted score as well. So let's see how accurate we are. Let us know in the comments over the weekend on the social media channels. GSPN Man United, what's your prediction for the score for the game? How do you think it'll pan out? Can we get a result at the Etihad? Let us know. But for today's episode, that's it. And thank you very much for listening.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.